What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is another Lost in the Pond, which you probably could tell by the title. 10 things I've learned about America since moving here. Now, this is an old school Lost in the Pond one, 2018. We've done more of his recent stuff quite recently, but he's got an awesome channel, a huge fan base as well. So if you're a Lost in the Pond fan, shout out to you. He's an absolute legend. Go and check his channel out if you haven't seen it before. It's an awesome channel, as you're probably about to find out in this video. So let's get straight into it. Again, it's an old school one, so he's probably learnt more in the past 3 years, and we may hear a couple of repetitions of what he said in his previous videos, but we'll see. Let's get straight into it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Hit the notification bell as well, uploading every single day, guys. And now let's find out the 10 things he's learnt since moving to America. What's loud? Okay, he's got little graphics.
Are you planning to move to the United States of America? If you are, stay tuned, because I have a video right here for you. I am a person, obviously, who has lived in the United States now for 10 years. And over that time, I have made some observations about this very place that I very succinctly want to share with you. So here are 10 things I've learned after 10 years in America.
Right, okay, firstly, I just want to point out again, it's just, you can tell it's a completely old video. Now he has his whole Lost in the Pond stuff. I don't know, again, if anyone was watching him back then, and maybe I'll launch myself if I can get in contact with him. Was this Lost in the Pond? Because it kind of seems to be a find in America. And again, I'm not planning on moving to America anytime soon or even thinking about it, but we're going to learn the immigration process. But there's a lot of different graphics, which, again, it just shows how a channel progresses. Still awesome, and he's got a lot more hair now. Well, no, sorry. Back then, he had a lot more hair from this video as well. So he's had a little bit of a haircut change.
The immigration process is very thorough. We had to send in all manner of paperwork, you know, photos, affidavits.
I can imagine.
We hardly knew and hardly knew us. And I'm kidding, it was family members. and all that. And on top of that, you know, you don't just put in all this paperwork and then wait the 9 months, in which time you could have a baby.
9 months?
Wanted, which would
wow.
mess up the immigration process in many ways. And so we didn't do that. But it cost a lot. At the end of it all, I think we were talking over $1,000 just to get the initial 2-year work and residency stay.
Oh, wow.
And all of that. And then after that, I had to extend it again by another 10 years and put in a lot of documentation and all of that. So it's a bureaucratic process, but it's worth it in the end.
Okay. Cost of living. All right, let's see what we got.
Well,
my guess, compared to Britain, the cost of living is higher. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to guess higher. I think you get paid more as well. I don't know.
This was something that, you know, I came to find just because I ended up living in Indiana, which technically is not the middle of the country. It's in the Midwest, which is a misleading name because it's closer, much closer to the East Coast than it is to the West.
Yes,
but all that to say, it's a little cheaper living inland. In Indiana, you know, we had numerous apartments all over the state, actually, where we were paying, you know, about $500 something for reasonably sized apartments. When we lived in Anderson, in fact, we had a 2-floor apartment, and it was, I don't know how many square feet, 1,200, I think, and we were paying $530. If you go out to Boston or San Francisco or even up in Chicago, which technically is in the middle, but it's its own entity, it's its own country in many ways, population-wise, you are looking at paying a hefty sum of money in those places. And in fact, of course, a lot of immigrants do move to the major cities. But if you're looking to pay a lot less, then avoid the coasts, you know, go inland and see what they have to offer.
Again, that makes sense. It is pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? Again, it's kind of like in the UK, Jersey, where I live, is super expensive, especially for house prices, stuff like that. But there is places in the UK where it's not that expensive. You go a lot more up north. It is extremely cheap compared to like London, down south and stuff like that. And it's the exact same. You go to a less touristy place, a less hyped up place and stuff like that, you will get very good deals. It can still be as beautiful. It can still be as stunning. And to be fair, in some cases, it can be more stunning. But because there's not as many people, there's not that demand to buy there or live there, then you can get it cheaper. So that definitely makes sense there. Unemployment rate.
So the national unemployment rate here, just like anywhere in the world, I suppose, can fluctuate quite drastically over 10 years. Specifically, though, the 10 years that I've been here, if I'm being truly honest, I moved here in November 2008, of course. That's when the recession was really kicking off at that point. And so we were left with an unemployment rate that was considerable. And that was, you know, it peaked, I think, in 2010 and then obviously slowly
horrible, man,
down to a point that it is now a very nice looking unemployment rate. But I think the reason I put this one in is because we think of America, don't we, as quite a prosperous nation. We think of it as, the bastion of capitalism. But it, like any other country in the world, does see a fluctuation in the job market and, of course, by extension, in the economy at large. And that's something that really hit home, I think, after moving here, because we were living in recession-hit Anderson, Indiana. Then gradually we progressed into professions that took us further afield, Indianapolis and, of course, Chicago now. And we've seen that difference and what it does to a country.
Oh, 100%. And again, like with COVID right now, I hope anyone who's watching this, I hope if you're wanting to find a job that you find one eventually and you are not left unemployed. It's a horrible thing. It's an economy thing. And some of us are lucky, managed to keep hold of our jobs. Some people are unlucky, and it is such a shame. But I hope you guys are all okay, and we'll get through it anyway. And I feel like unemployment rates are already starting to drop now. COVID's pretty much over, which is awesome. Extreme weather, yeah, up and down is mental.
Speaking of fluctuations, the
compared
weather
to ours,
in
at
the
least,
Midwest is insane at times. Okay, so in the summer, it's sweltering. You know, it can get up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is mental. But then conversely, and I've spoken about this a lot of times on my channel, the winters are like hell. They are freezing. In fact, on average, in Chicago, you're looking at about 7 degrees C lower than you would see in the north of England on average in December. And that's an average. Cold. So imagine the sort of the lows. We go sometimes way below zero. I think I've known it since I've been living in the United States to go something along the lines of 15 to 20 degrees C below zero, which is frighteningly cold and not entirely fit for humans.
A bit of a shock for him. Countless accents. Again, like in the UK, the accents are all over, and I do apologise a lot on my channel because I'm useless with accents. I even had to ask where Bill Burr was from. Like, was he from America? I believe he was, but I'm just useless with accents. A lot of the time, you hear them, I just cannot remember where them accents are from. Just cannot connect them a lot of the time. But yeah, it's kind of like, again, it's so diverse, so much culture in America. There's going to be countless accents. It makes sense.
Accents, yes. So just as Americans are often portrayed as only knowing two British accents, you know, the Queen's English and Cockney, we're not that good at knowing American accents. Or at least I can speak for myself in that regard. Before I moved to the United States, I think I knew of just sort of basic Southern English, general nightly news, a kind of New York accent, and possibly Valley Girl, right? That's 4. But no, America is replete with far, how many times can you say far in one sentence? Far more accents than that. If you could just look at the South. I said a moment ago that I knew, vaguely of a general Southern accent, but it has plenty of nuances all around the South. But just up here in the Great Lakes region, right, where you've got sort of Chicago or Illinois in general, and you've got Wisconsin, you've got Minnesota nearby. Those were influenced quite heavily by Scandinavian immigrants that came in hundreds of years ago. And there's variances to accents and dialects up in this region, with which I was not familiar. Anybody that's seen perhaps Fargo, might get a sort of broad understanding of that.
I haven't seen Fargo. Let me know if it's worth watching or not. And what do you reckon Lawrence's accent is? Again, I've told you I'm used to accents. In this video here, I know this is 2018. Again, if you guys have watched this video before or watched any other 2018 ones, and you watched today's videos of him, let me know in the comments, put in 2018 where you think his accent sounds like he's from. Has he got more American? Has he not? He's 10 years in America at this point. You'd hope he sounds more American. And then put 2021. See if there's a difference in what you guys think. You don't have to. I understand that's a lot of work for you guys, and I'm just happy you guys watching it. Hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, it'd be a little interesting thing just to see what everyone kind of picks up from an accent. And again, say about mine if you want. I'm going to guess it's going to be Northern English. A lot of people even said, how can anyone watch this video and tell me he's speaking English? Which is very true. I watch some videos and I'm like, how are they speaking English? It's just the accent, 100%.
Of that style of speech, but it's not sort of well known to us in Britain. I could and I will and I have done, videos on American accents and can speak to it more broadly outside of the context of this list. But it's fascinating and I absolutely love it.
You might need a car. It's a huge place, of
You
course.
might need a vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, not everywhere has public transit. There's not trains that get you from any city to any city, just
Yeah.
like there are in Britain. You will sometimes have to rely on a vehicle. Certainly in Anderson, when I lived there, where, you know, buses were about as easy to find as jobs
Oh, wow.
during the recession. It might have changed
Oh,
now.
mate, brutal.
It was just difficult, and they, you know, it didn't exactly as a town specialize in sidewalks. Now that got better when I moved to Indianapolis and Fort Wayne. It was quite pedestrianized, so great. You could walk around or you could cycle. But if you wanted to go a bit further afield, you know, there were buses, yeah, sure, but they were every sort of hour sometimes, and you'd have to wait quite a while. And the only train to speak of in the entire state really is the one that runs from Indianapolis to Chicago and vice versa. Other than that, you're screwed,
Oh,
or you
wow.
have to drive and get a vehicle. I've since moved to Chicago, and that has a comprehensive public transit system, as do quite a lot of cities in the United States. It really depends on where you live.
Where you live, again, the only place I've been to is New York. When I say New York, I mean like Manhattan area. I know that doesn't cover the whole New York state. I get that comment quite a lot. But they've obviously got the subway system, which just connects the whole city, at least. It connects New Jersey as well, I believe. I only went on it twice, but there you go. You can see the transports in there. Very touristy place, massive infrastructure. You go somewhere like Chicago or Indiana, not as many places. Not as many. It makes sense because it's not as touristy. Lost in translation. Common language,
you know, I spoke
but
a moment
different.
ago about accents, but just language in general is quite a departure
Okay.
from what it is in the United Kingdom or in Britain. And you know, I think obviously we're most of us aware of things like the spelling of colour, the spelling of theatre, and things of that nature. You know,
Aluminium. I don't think I've ever said it on this channel before, but aluminium. Oh, I probably triggered all you guys. I know you guys say aluminum, and you guys say, is it Nike? You guys say, and I say Nike, and then you guys say Adidas, and I say Adidas. I think they're the ones I can think of top head. Let me know some more in the comments if you can think of
you
them.
know, you read them in books and you see all these sort of differences in American films. But once you live here, you realise that not only are there far more language differences than we ever knew, but that different regions of America itself are different from the other. For example, I was in the city of Boise in Idaho earlier this year, and I discovered that the animal groundhog there is called a whistle pig. Okay, a whistle pig. What a great name that is. And it's just things like that. The more you go around, the more you find there's actually linguistic nuance, you know, to the lexicon, to pronunciation, to spelling, and all of that. And it's fascinating. There's a wide array of differences. Yeah. And this is the case for many different reasons. And that's one of the reasons you should follow my channel, so that we can go in depth together on those very things. Okay.
Go and do it on this one as well. You're absolute legends. And I know I say that a lot, but you guys are absolute legends.
Hey, speaking of things that are big.
Bigger portions, yeah, everywhere, man. America just does it bigger.
You know, portion sizes, they are typically greater here. When I, in fact, visited Boston in 2004, I asked for a kid's ice cream, and it was that big.
Oh,
wow. The size of my face. So there big children out there in Boston. But, you know, since I've moved here, I've found this to be the case also. And one discovery that came to light not long after I moved here is that a lot of places, restaurants and the like, once you get a pop, a soda, fizzy drink, whatever you want to call it, that's another regional difference here across the United States. You get the chance to refill it for free refills.
Mental, man. It's so depressing.
That actually prompted me to give up.
And when I say it's depressing, it's because I want that so much. You guys have got it, and I want that so much. You know, sometimes, especially when, right, I know I've waffled a lot in this video, and I do apologise for people telling me not to pause, but if you don't like it, the original video is in the description, guys. But so many times, like you go to a shop, okay, let's say McDonald's, because we're talking about free refills, and you're just so thirsty. You've been out all day, the sun's blazing, and you just want to down your drink. You have a massive gulp, and half your drink's gone. You're like, okay, I ain't even touched my food yet, and 99% of my drink's gone. It's like, damn it. So annoying. Can't refill it. I've got to pay another £2. I know it's only £2, but when you get free refills, it's like, oh, come on, man. And it's like when sometimes like you have a drink of someone's, oh, can I have a sip, mate? And then you get a little bit of a taste, like, oh, I could just do with downing it. But you know you can't, because you can't drink all their drink and they don't get a free refill. So you feel bad. Let me know in the comments. That's just a very nice thing you guys have. And I didn't know it when I was in New York, so I didn't take advantage.
Pop, soda, fizzy drinks all together, because I found myself succumbing rather too much to that generous offer.
Avoid stereotypes, okay.
American people get a hard time when it comes to stereotypes, that they're loud, that they are overweight and all of that. And there are statistics to back up, certainly obesity levels in this country.
All over
and
the
it's
world.
Unfortunate. Of course, not every American fits that bill, nor should we demonize those that do. But that's just one stereotype. I think the loudness stereotype is situation specific, right? I think Americans do tend to be louder in restaurants. It's more of a cultural thing for chatter to be, at volume and to happen quite readily. But Americans are not always loud, and it's not like you walk into a library and find it there. It's not like you would walk into a lot of situations and find it. In fact, if you go to a football game in the United Kingdom, there's a lot of loud British people there, right? And so again, it's situation specific. And also I would say the same thing about politeness values, okay? So British people, obviously a stereotype there is that we are polite. And I'm not saying that some of us aren't.
But some of us are. I mean, I'm very polite. I try my best to be polite. I don't want to be rude. But there definitely is. A lot of people are not. It's very true. It's very rude. Why not? Why not just be happy and polite, but rude a lot? So again, stereotypes, it only covers a small proportion, or at least half, and then there's always other people against it.
I think there other of us not being.
Yep.
Again, at football matches, probably, right? But also in other areas of life. And conversely, Americans can be some of the politest people I've ever known. In fact, to take it back into the restaurants, the waiters are almost too polite, right? They come around just to see if everything's working out for you. And at times that can, to a British person like myself, that can be quite burdensome, because you want to take that time to have a conversation with the person you're eating with, not with the person serving the food. So there are ups and downs to that one, but I would definitely not say that all Americans are direct to the point of being impolite. There is a directness here, but I think that Americans tend to be among some of the politest people I've ever met.
Awesome. America's massive, we've learned this one quite a lot.
There are multiple states, 11 of them in total, I think 10 of those are out west, that are larger than the United Kingdom, at least in terms of area, not in terms of population. In fact, in the case of Wyoming, it has, I think, a population of about 500,000.
Least populated state, and it's quite a big one.
There are actually more cows there than people.
Wow.
And yet it's roughly the same size area-wise as the entire United Kingdom.
Wow,
but it's huge.
Man.
The country is massive, and you only really realize that, I think, when you are traveling around by car, and you see that sometimes it can take more than a day to get through an entire state.
Wow.
The place is huge, and I love it for that, because it means that it's forever going to be an adventure to go and visit all 50 states, which is something that I've been trying to do.
Awesome.
So that's it. 10 observations after 10 years in America.
Well, that was awesome. Go and check Lawrence out. Like I said, it's a fantastic channel. This was a bit of an old school video. He's got a little bit of a different format in the whole Lost Upon thing, which is awesome, but it was still fantastic. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this. If you want me to keep doing some old school Lost Upon videos, let me know if you want me to react to as well. You absolute legends. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.